Good morning and welcome to the February 22nd Facilities Committee meeting. We have all members present, so I'm calling this meeting to order. I need an approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 4-0. I need a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
4-0, including the dog. Okay, Mr. Burnett.
Okay, we have a pretty full agenda, so I'll try to be brief and you all just ask questions where you need to on all of these agenda items. The first one is the transfer of deeds to Union County, and this is for the bond project, the bond that was just approved in November. What we'd like to be able to do is recoup the sales tax from those projects and have them go back into the projects. In order to do that, we need to transfer the deeds to Union County. We have done this before numerous times dating back to 1996. The draft agreements are attached. If there's any questions, I'm happy to try to answer it.
Any questions?
No.
Motion to
Motion. Yeah, and to send the full board.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did we lose Todd? Okay, next item, East Elementary and Forest Hills High preferred bid alternatives. Mr. Burnett.
Yes, so, and we've done this in the past also, where what we want to do is for a large project like this, we do have some preferred bid alternates that we have done in the past. You can see the list of a little bit more than half a dozen items, and we have the rationale for those. By approving this, it just really allows us to put it on the bid forms as a preferred bid alternate. It doesn't guarantee that we will accept them or recommend them. We'll see what the pricing comes in at. So staff is requesting the board approve the preferred bid alternates in the respective for the upcoming bid packages for East and Forest Hills High School bond projects.
Does anyone have questions?
Motion to approve.
Yep. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous. Indian Trail Elementary lighting bids.
We did receive bids. Net Zero USA Holdings Inc. provided the recommended bid of $248,894.40. It includes bid alternate number 1, number 2, and number 3. Those are listed as what those scopes are, and we're recommending that all 3 bid alternates be awarded. Surprise, this does come in within budget, so we're very happy about that. So as bid, staff requests the board award the bid as provided by Net Zero USA Holdings Inc. in the total amount of $248,894.40.
Any questions?
Motion to
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous. Porter Ridge Middle generator bids.
This project has bid numerous times. We finally did get some participation, which we were very happy about. Page Power Systems Inc. Provided the bid of $158,122. This did have a bid alternate number 1. We are not recommending bid alternate number 1. So only the base bid is being recommended for award. This was over budget. We did identify savings of $77,522 and to cover the funds. Actually, that was the money that we just approved on the Indian Trail, where that came in below budget. So it didn't take long to spend that savings. So as bid, the project exceeded the budgeted funds. We've identified those funds. Staff requests the board to award the bid as provided by Page Power Systems, Inc. in the total amount of $158,122.
So this is
Any
to
que-
replace the existing backup generator.
It's to replace the existing generator at Portage Middle School, yes.
Okay. Are we adding any capacity with that also?
We are adding capacity, and the added capacity is going to cover the IT's backup system for Media Tech.
All right, thank you. All right, motion to approve and send to the full board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 3-0. Roofing change order.
We have a change order in the amount of $103,830.76. This is at Porter Ridge Middle School. That original contract was almost $1.2 million. For perspective, the reason for the cost increase was material price escalations, and that was allowed per contract. Sufficient funding is available within the remaining CIP roofing funds. Staff requests the board approve the change order to Davco Roofing and Sheet Metal, Inc. in the total amount of $103,830.76.
Questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Rio. Weddington High School parking.
Okay. This is a proposal to modify the bus lot. Specifically there's two large existing islands in that bus parking lot. We wanted to reduce those in size and pave those portions that we just reduced. And the area between the two islands would be restriped for car parking. Funding has not yet been identified for this. Estimates are in the $200,000 range, and this would yield approximately 40 parking spaces. So staff is, and the desire is to complete this project prior to the start of school in August. So staff is seeking approval for this project and contingent upon funding approval.
So are you asking Dave to put it into the CIP for the next fiscal year? Is that you're proposing to fund it?
No.
This year?
Yeah, this is trying to fund this year currently. Yeah, so as soon as possible, as soon as the funding is identified, we would like to start on the project. And you have to approve that we could do this as a project.
Do we have any savings from other projects that you could feel could be diverted?
Yeah, I think we're looking at other sources. The savings that we have had in CIP for the most part, that is being used up and consumed, and certainly with the bid prospects, we don't see that as the funding source.
Okay. Well, the liaisons with the county, we have been meeting with the County Commission Chair and Vice Chair, and we anticipate very shortly information regarding what we used to refer to as true-up funds. Perhaps that could be a source. Those would be available. I assume you'd want to start construction as soon as school is out in June.
That's correct.
So we've been told that there will be funds there. So I anticipate at least that as a source for funding for this project. So with that in mind, having at least a good estimate of where the funding would come from, I'll make a motion to approve.
Question real fast too. Are we designing this in-house, or does it have to be designed from outside?
Yeah, we probably will have a consultant on it. We do have to get the town of Weddington zoning approval, on that. So it may be more appropriate to have a consultant with that.
Okay. The reason I ask, if we have to get a consultant and we have to get submitted to the planning in Weddington, we should be on that now, shouldn't we?
So in talking with the town of Weddington for zoning approval, that time period was not long, was not exorbitant. It
Okay.
sounded as though that could be in the neighborhood of half a month. So that was welcome news.
Okay.
But we'll make sure to get this moving so it can be done before next school year.
Dave, did in discussions with Weddington, was there even to ask if we could get a variance so that we did not have to have islands at all and could maximize the parking spaces? Were they even asked?
Yeah, so we have yet to have that discussion, and we do hope to have that here within this week.
Okay, so that could potentially, that would change the scope of the project if they'll let us just asphalt the whole thing and the cost of this. And
Yeah, and we'll have to see what the town of Weddington, allows on that.
okay, so so we're approving the project as is right now with just reducing the islands. Will you, if Weddington does acquiesce to the change to just make it all parking spaces, would you need to come back for approval again, or? Okay.
No, basically we just want a project approved to add parking in the bus lot.
Because you'll have to come back to us for the funding anyway, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I made the motion to approve.
Yeah, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, unanimous, 3-0. Piedmont High School Stadium unsuitable soil change order.
Yes, this one came up and it was noted, but really we got the pricing actually yesterday and last night. So, do appreciate the ability to get this on the agenda. And the ask on this one is that for this to be approved so that we can tell the contractor to move ahead now, as opposed to waiting for the Board of Education meeting in March. So it's time sensitive. So we have a change order in the amount of $189,057. It's for soil remediation work of unsuitable soils. We have had a geotechnical engineer, confirm, and really we didn't need a geotechnical engineer to confirm the conditions out there. The soil was very poor. The contractor is also seeking an additional 5 days to be added to the contract completion date, and that's from May 19th to May 24th. And I know there's a lot of concern on this particular project with the calendar. Certainly, May 24th is not. You're getting into graduation. And talking with the contractor yesterday, he still felt that there was, he's feeling as a graduation is going to be able to occur as planned. So funding will be identified from the 22 or 23 CIPs. We feel we're pretty close on the 22 CIP, but not 100% there. We do feel that as we go through the projects, we may have some savings, to cover that balance. But we're under construction. The field is all the way down to subgrade. There really isn't any turning back. So we do need to finish this project. So staff is requesting the board approve the change order to geosurfaces in the total amount of $189,057.
So are we going to be able to fund it from CIP savings?
That is our expectation. So worst case, and I'm just going to go to worst case just trying to speed things up. But worst case is if no savings ever materialize from here, for the life of the 22 and 23 CIPs, one of the projects would just have to be either downsized or paused, put off for a year to fund this remaining funds of this change order. don't see that, but that is a possibility, and that would be how you would cover yourself in that event.
Any questions?
Motion
I
to,
guess, I was gonna mention too, I guess what Gary was saying with the sales tax, depending on how that goes, that could be a potential also.
Or the
Potentially.
true-up funds.
Yeah, true up funds.
That's a good
And
point.
and the other question, I guess going forward with other sites that may get turf upgrades in the future, is there any way to identify subsoil, like or a bad geotechnical subsoil, you know, ahead of time?
We can, yes. Typically, you wouldn't do it, you know, in this type of application. But you know, lesson learned, if we do get this opportunity, again, you know, this was, you know, state funding, you know, that, yeah, it's something we could look at.
Okay, or I guess put some contingency in there for it potentially with the final bid price.
I
Okay.
agree with you for sure.
All right,
Okay, I
I'll
need a
second that.
motion.
Nick
Okay,
Gary
all in-
motion, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, CIP budget draft.
Okay. So the facilities committee members met 2 by 2 with staff on many occasions, 4 occasions, and came up with a plan. What is in the board docs is really the plan that was shown on Friday, February 17th. And with that, there were expectations, you know, of modifications, you know, still to come. So I think, you know, the committee members, you know, may have some discussion, you know, on that, but as proposed or as shown, it's $19,795,047.
Does anyone have any questions about the list of projects or?
just to note, we have a finance committee meeting next week where we'll start to see an overall framework. I would just suggest to the other committee members, as you look over this proposal, to start to make a mental note of other items that may require being deferred. We might have to get our total down from this 19 million to meet budget. So this is by no means set in stone.
Okay, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous 3-0. Okay, informational items, proposed NCDOT roundabout at Sun Valley High School.
Sure. And this, again, is information. So if y'all have any questions about it, was just making you aware of it. It would be a DOT project, and it would include a roundabout at the entrance of Sun Valley High School. If it's in the review period, it's also NCDOT provided some information about they're still gathering comments, you know, from the public. I think that goes through March 2nd. If there's any questions, I'm happy to try to answer, or I can, you know, work through DOT to try to answer the questions.
So looking at the design, they're adding what, 3 roundabouts in the area,
That's correct.
and they're putting a traffic light in the middle of them.
So there's currently the traffic light at the intersection of Wesley Chapel Stouch Road and Old Charlotte Road. So that light will continue to be there. The 3 roundabouts are, if there's a graphic on it that tells you where it is, but it's one to the east at Sun Valley, one to the north, and then one to the west on Old Charlotte.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I think that's Old Monroe. Sorry.
Yeah. But they don't have any concerns, I guess, with traffic backing up to either roundabout potentially.
Yeah, that's a question for DOT. I know that that's not something you want, with a roundabout. So it is a
Yeah.
2-lane roundabout, especially the ones at the Sun Valley driveway. 2-lane through lanes, for the old Charlotte traffic.
Oh,
Please.
go ahead.
I was just going to say, does staff have any concerns about any of these roundabouts? And if you do, I don't need to know if you need our approval, but I would encourage staff, any concerns you have, to relate them to DOT, since it's impacting our facilities.
Yeah, so when I received this, I did send this out to some of the stakeholders. And we do have a current problem, and have had a current problem at the driveway for Sun Valley High School at Old Charlotte Highway. And so hopefully this fixes it. We're happy to see that they are trying to address the problem. We have been in contact with NCDOT numerous times in the last 2 years. So we're pleased that, that they're trying to do something, trying to address the traffic. I know the models that they do, I would expect, show that the roundabout is the way to go. So, from that standpoint, we're pleased that they're trying to help us out.
When you say driveway, you're talking about on Old Charlotte Highway, there'll be a roundabout to come into the high school parking lot, or to continue on Old Charlotte Highway, Monroe Road, whatever you want to call it, or to go over to the grocery store.
That's correct.
I was just going to say that I would hope there's going to be a serious component on driving in a roundabout, especially for our Sun Valley students doing driver's ed, because that seems like one of the biggest issues is, even seasoned drivers seem to have a problem navigating roundabouts. So we don't want a lot of accidents there.
This is also a 2-lane roundabout going into a high school. I do have some concerns about having a 2-lane roundabout going into a high school versus like a single lane, so it's a little different.
Yeah,
I agree, Matt. I think the 2-lane roundabouts cause more problems than they solve.
Well, I'm not against the 2-lane round, but having the 2-lane roundabouts, like if it's a single lane, not a big deal. Those are pretty easy, but
yeah,
2-lane going into a high school, going into a grocery store area.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how it's going to work necessarily.
Merging, yeah.
I guess the good news is they won't have to go far to train on the roundabout.
Yeah.
And they will be able to do it in off peak hours.
Yeah.
Hey,
I guess the concern I have,
go ahead.
A lot of people coming from the east side on Old Monroe Road, they have to go around the roundabout, get in the outside lane with potential oncoming traffic getting in. Yeah. So hopefully they have that worked out.
Dave, I've never understood the rationale for a 2-lane roundabout other than just to confuse folks. I would think a 1-lane would be whatever. You're going to have traffic coming down Old Charlotte Highway, and then most of them wanting to pass on down, continue on Old Charlotte Highway. So are they supposed to go into the middle, or is the right lane only reserved for people that are going to make the first immediate right into the high school? I don't know. I would, frankly, at that spot, I would prefer it's just a 1-lane roundabout. So I may make some comments.
okay, any more discussion? Sold asset report?
Yeah, if there's any questions on that, happy to try to answer them. But it's a semi-annual compilation that we put together. Actually, it's a board policy for us to do that, and so it's just what's been sold in the last 6 months.
questions.
Any questions?
No.
Change order update?
Yes, so we had CIP Piedmont High School roofing material escalation, $18,513. And then we had an operating funds change order for fire equipment inspections and repair. That's actually an increase, inspections and repair, $24,000.
So that increased 24,000, not decreased?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? Bond update?
Yes. So we have met with our CM at risk partners for both East Elementary School and Forest Hills High School. The important items, is that the design is, we'll say, basically complete. We are reacting to the review agencies with the state and local, authorities, we'll be, are making modifications as they request or suggest or require. The pre-construction services are underway, and so pre-qualification of bidders is underway. We have tentative bid schedules. Forest Hills High School, we are planning to go out to bid at the end of this month. Receive bids at the end of March. In East Elementary School, we are moving that up a little bit. So in my memo, it said April 3rd, but the contractor is trying to see if he can put that in right after Forest Hills High School bids. So it'd be like March 29th start. All that is in an effort to get receive the bids, develop the GMP, get that to us, the owner, for review, and then take it to you all for a May board meeting and a June board meeting. That's Forest Hills High School and East Elementary School. Of course, the concerns that we've had, all along are budget and the cost escalations, are larger, than what had been anticipated and had been agreed to with the county as far as our inflation and escalation rates. So we do expect that East is likely to exceed the budgeted funds, but we do feel that Forest Hills High School is coming in within budgeted funds. Again, cross your fingers. Hopefully it's to the amount that they both cancel each other out. We can award both, but right now we're East is running high, and so that's our concern. We may be over budget, on that, and combining the two together. The construction schedule, we both projects look like they should be in those buildings for the August 25th start of the school year. August 2025 start of the school year.
So did you say you do think that combined will end up being within budget for both?
So that's the $1 million question. Right now, we are looking hard at items in both projects, but especially with East, to try to get that down. I do feel like we need to get it down further to get it so that combined budget, we can be there. We do have some bid alternates that I hope we don't have to pursue for East Elementary School, and that would be a 2-classroom addition, 2 classrooms being cut off, or 4 classrooms, being, taken off. Again, those are bid alternates, we don't want to do, but we do want to be able to give ourselves options, for when, bid day to award, and we'll see what the pricing comes in at. We'll see what additional help, there might be in that regard. But those are some of the things that we are pursuing.
If we had to remove those classrooms, then we couldn't move more pre-K into East?
It would affect the amount of that we could do for pre-K. It would.
Right. And then when you say both should be in their new facilities August 2025, is that with East being complete? Or that's just them moving into the building and then the whole front is still completely a shambles?
Yeah, we would expect that they would be complete. We do expect, because of the phasing on that job, that they would actually be in there sooner. We do need to get them into the new building, so then we can tear down the old building and then develop a parking lot and field and circulation, in that area that the footprint of the building is in now.
Okay. Any other questions? Construction update? Any questions on that?
No questions.
Okay. Our next meeting is March 22nd, 9 a.m. via Zoom. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.